class, everybody. This is Introduction to Twitter. My name is Matt Binder. I'm a reference librarian at the Wheaton Public Library. The goal of the class today, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the steps of creating an account. For that, I made my own email address. I'm going to register the email address with Twitter, and then we're going to go through the steps of making your account. It's very simple. After that, we're going to go through the Twitter interface that's on desktop computer. I'm going to explain how you can interact with people, what hashtags do and what they are. It's more complicated than you think. And then what Twitter can do for you. Well, you'll find out that Twitter is a little different from Facebook, and it's very different from any other platform that you've seen. So here's the first thing I'm going to do. You can choose whichever web browser you want to use. For this, I am going to use Google Chrome. So if you'd like to follow me in Google Chrome, you can. If you prefer to use Internet Explorer or Firefox, that is your choice. But I am going to open Google Chrome. And then I'm going to go to twitter.com up in the address bar of the browser. Hit enter. And so if you're ever on your home computer for the first time or a public computer, this is how you can log into Twitter. See here it says log in. So if you already have an account, just log in and wait. For those of you who don't, follow me and we will go through the sign up procedure. So I'm going to go here and click on sign up. So you can see here, all it wants is your full name, your phone or email, and your password. I am going to give my email because that's what I feel comfortable giving. You should give what you feel comfortable giving to Twitter. If you feel more comfortable giving a phone number, keep in mind it should be a mobile phone, because they may ask for a text message or a phone call to verify that you are the person registering under your name. If you give an email, we may have to open your email to confirm that you are the person registering under your name. This is so Twitter knows it's you, to verify that you are the person you say that you are. And then you will come up with a password to log in under the email or phone number that you give. So I'm going to say my name is Matt Binder. My email is mbinder86@yahoo.com. And the password I'm going to make up, my recommendation to you as a general rule of thumb for internet security, have a capital letter, have a number, and have a symbol in your password. It might be complicated. Sometimes you'll have to write it down. But that is easier than an all lowercase password of your pet's name. Anyone can guess that. Better than an all lowercase of just your street that you live on. Anyone can guess that. Even better than the name of the college or high school you went to and the year you graduated. That is a terrible password. Anyone can guess that. So, a capital letter, something, it might mean something to you, but it's not the street you live on, it's not somewhere you graduated from. It's something you'll remember, and then a letter and a symbol. And what I mean by symbol are the symbols above the numbers on the keyboard. You have to press shift, so the exclamation point, the $sign, the and symbol, the asterisk. That way, it just throws a hitch in trying to guess what you did. I'm not going to tell you what my password is. Okay, so I put in my password, and you can see here it has this bar. If it's green, it will let you continue. If it's yellow or red, it means your password is weak, and it's probably not advisable to continue and think of a new password. Also, there's this checkbox, tailor Twitter based on my recent website visits. I am going to uncheck this box.
Makes sense. You want people.
Right. You're giving Twitter permission to look in your previous website history to make suggestions to you. So what I just did, I hit the next button, and now since I registered with an email, Twitter as well as being a website that you can use, it is also a free app you can download on your phone. If you decide to do that, you'll have to register your phone number with Twitter. But for right now, I can skip this if I don't want to do it. And I don't want to register my phone number with Twitter, so I'm going to skip it. If you decide to register your phone number, that's fine. You'll have to verify with a text message. But for right now, I'm going to skip this step. So now it's asking me to choose a username. And it says I can change it later. We will go over your account settings, your privacy settings, and how you can change your username in a minute. But for now, I am going to choose one. And you can see here, it's giving me suggestions based on my email what I should call myself. So I could call myself mbender86matt, which is nonsense. Or I could call myself, I don't know, Mr. Dinosaur. Whatever. It doesn't matter. You're choosing what you want the world to call you on Twitter. Some people do very clever things based on their job, or based on their interests, or a nickname that they have. So you'll find actors and actresses have names based on what movie that they're in at that time. CEOs of companies will have something like Business Guy 5 or Mr. Google, something like that, that is personal and personal to you. So for me, since I'm a librarian, I'm going to put something like this. So I can see here, I tried this one, Bookish86, username is already taken, so I can't use it. But if I just want to use Bookish, and I don't care what numbers are after it, I can pick any of these. Or I can just keep trying. But for the interest of time, I'm going to go with Bookish864. And since it has a check mark, I can hit next. All right. So from here, it's going to ask me to set up the account. So I'm going to click on Let's Go. Let me get rid of this box down here. So now it's going to ask what I'm interested in. And it's going to suggest people, corporations, and nonprofits that I would be interested in that manage popular accounts on the Twitter platform. So if I was interested in sports, ESPN, popular sports networks, Fox Sports, NBC Sports, ABC Sports, radio networks. News would be all the popular news, blogs, networks, and music would be magazines, entertainment things. Same with entertainment, would just be mostly garbage. And then lifestyle is cooking, homekeeping, things like that. So if I'm interested in arts and culture, government and politics, and this lifestyle one, and I'm not so interested in what popular accounts means, because I'm really not sure. That could just be anybody. And I'm interested in nonprofits. I'll click Continue. And from here, it's going to ask me who I would like to follow right off the bat on Twitter. Now, you might be wondering, well, why wouldn't you just start blank? Why do we have to follow people? The entire point of Twitter is to follow people and have people follow you. Twitter is a secret game that's not so secret. It is high school, it is mean, and it is a popularity game. Some people take this game very seriously, and they make a living at it. Kim Kardashian made a lot of money playing the Twitter game. The game goes like this. You win by having the most followers and following the least amount of people, because you are the most popular person. Now, you might think, well, that's stupid. I'm on Twitter because I want to look in on other people. I want to see what they think. I want to, because people take pictures, they upload videos, they link articles. It's a huge sharing service. And for some reason, some people share their innermost thoughts. No one knows why, they just do. And it's fascinating when you see someone go on a multi-tweet rant because they're having a bad day, and you read this, you think, who would share this with 5 million people? They do, on this platform. And if you follow someone like the Chicago Blackhawks, you might find out about what prizes they're giving away that day at the game. You might find out about discount tickets. You might find out about season ticket opportunities. Something like Ellen DeGeneres, you might find out that if you're in town, there might be tickets available. Something like a celebrity. So with Ann Burrell, let's say Ann Burrell is celebrity chef. She is at the Chicago Food and Wine event. You can see her pictures from the Chicago Food and Wine event. It's like you're there with her. And some celebrities, some people are very good at giving you that I'm with you experience. And that's the fun of Twitter. So when you follow fun accounts, you can have a good time. So I would think that with most of these, all of these, as you can see from what I checked, if I checked, I didn't even check sports, and I'm still getting Chicago Blackhawks players. There's Andrew Shaw. There's the Chicago Bears, because I live in Chicago. There's Patrick Kane. But then Arts and Lifestyle, I got Chow Hound. I got at least 5 celebrity chefs on there that are very popular. Serious Eats, which is a very popular blog. Bon Appetit Magazine. And Barack Obama. All of these, if I want them all, great. If I want none of them, I click on this. And if I only want some of them, so let's say I don't want to follow Bon Appetit Magazine, I click on the box. And I can only follow the ones that I want to. So no thanks Baby Center, no thanks Today Parents, I don't know who Veranda is, Emerald, nope. And Guy Fieri, nope. And Foodista, no thank you. By clicking on continue, these are the 33 accounts that I'm going to start following. So we click there. And now it's asking me if I want to add a photo. Now this could be a photo that I have already in my computer. If you have the mobile app on your phone, it'll take a smartphone. You can just take a photo of yourself on your phone and add it there. I did not bring a photo. Probably should have. But you don't necessarily need one to be on Twitter. You can see here, I'm just going to skip this step. And I'll have what's known as the Twitter egg. It's the default. Every egg has a different color. I don't know why, but it's a background with just an egg symbol. Now it's asking me if I want to link my email contacts to my account. This is how you feel about it. I don't recommend doing it. It turns into a mess. Because let's say you were just recently job hunting. Now suddenly you're connecting with all the people who rejected you for jobs. And that's a very awkward situation. So skip this step because I'm going to show you how to find the people that you want to find on Twitter without having to link your email to your Twitter, to your Facebook, to everything else. Okay. So this is the home page for Twitter. My account is set up. There is my name. And here is my Twitter handle, @bookish864.
Do they always begin with an @
They do. And there's a reason. It is, in psychology, known as operant conditioning. It is to get you to think about using the system the way they want you to. You use an @ symbol to let the system know who to send the message to. So, I have it here in your handout, but I will point one out really quickly. It won't take long. Okay. So here is actually a very typical tweet. This is the name. This is the account handle. This is their picture. Tom Colicchio is another account that I followed. And this retweet symbol means that they took this person's tweet and they basically just parroted it to all of their followers. You can retweet anyone with this symbol down here. What that means is you like what they posted. You can't do better than what they said, so you just want to repeat it and have everyone read it. So Tom Colicchio liked this so much that he just took the whole thing and posted it to everyone who follows him's timeline. Here's the message that they typed in. Here is a link to an article that they want to plug. And this is the account probably associated with this thing. But @VoiceFood is going to get a notification letting them know that Robert Egger wrote a message about them. If they left the @ symbol out and they just said VoiceFood, they wouldn't see any notification at all. The @ symbol is meant to turn into a link. So if I click on @VoiceFood, I can now access their account. And now I'm here. The @ symbol acts as a link not only to your account, but also as a way to communicate with the person that you want to. And that only works with the handle and not the name. So if I just typed in Village Voice Food and hoping that they read it, unless they click on my messages and look for themselves, they won't see anything, they won't get any notification unless I type in @VoiceFood. So, something like this, just to bring the point home. Here's Wine Atlas. There's their message. Here is what's known as a bit link. Because Twitter, and I don't know for how much longer, restricts you to 140 characters. As you know, when you have a news article, the whole URL, the entire message of one article, can be enormous. And sometimes it doesn't make sense. But you can't fit an entire link in 140 characters and share it. So BitLink takes that link and scrunches it down into something like this that's more Twitter friendly. That was only developed because Twitter was invented. No one else needed shortened links but Twitter. So here, Wine Atlas is linking @VoiceFood and @VillageVoice to their tweets, and also, in a way, linking their followers to these two accounts. So, Village Voice got a notification saying Wine Atlas wrote a tweet about them. Voice Food got a notification saying that Wine Atlas wrote a tweet about them. And now everyone reading Wine Atlas's tweet can access these two accounts.
So, if I tweet Richard Durbin, does my tweet go to his followers or my followers?
You write to Richard Durbin. You say, @Richard Durbin,
You're doing a good job.
you're doing a great job, #Illinois is great. You send that to him. He will get a notification that you sent something to him. But it will not appear on his timeline unless he replies to it. His followers can look at his @replies on his profile. So, just looking at mine, if I click on my name, I have said nothing so far. So if I send out my first tweet here, let's see, we'll do this one on a personal account. Mariana, do you mind giving me your Twitter handle?
Yes, @MMMariana.
Okay.
Mariana.
So there we go. So now I'm going to say, hello. Now you'll notice that if I delete this A, it stops, it's not blue anymore. It's no longer a link. Mariana will not get a notification. I put the A in front. And now she will. So now this appears on my timeline. And the people who follow me will see this tweet. The people who follow her may or may not see that tweet. So what I send, my followers can see. Whether or not her followers see what I'm sending to her, you would have to go to Mariana's page.
How did you get it, Carl?
So you can see here, I just clicked on Mariana's page.
No.
What I wrote is not here.
No, it doesn't appear.
But if I click on tweets and replies, unless Mariana replies to me, it won't appear here. And if I click on Carl's, so let me go to tweets and replies here, unless you reply, Carl, to her message, it just stays where it is.
Okay, so no one can see unless...
Unless you respond. Now, here's the deal about privacy on Twitter.
Okay.
There's almost none of it, unless you decide to make a private account. If you're intentionally making this a public account, where you're going to watch what you say, and you're fine with the consequences of your freedom of speech, keep it public. Because if you think your boringness protects you from someone else who's going to come and yell at you, you're fine. However, if you're the kind of person who has opinions, and those opinions are very strong, and you decide to jab at someone who also has strong opinions and too much time on their hands, you might find yourself at the hands of a Twitter bully. And you might not be able to escape, let's say. Also, there are cases on the news that you hear about all the time of people who innocently tweet something out in the open. They don't have their account on private. They tweet a joke. They tweet an aside. It's one part of many thoughts they have on the subject, but that one part, because it's 140 characters, and it's so perfectly encapsulated right here, is the one thing that people see throughout the world, and somehow now you're hearing about it on CNN. So
everyone can see it even though they're not followers of you?
yes.
Only if you reply.
Yes.
And why would you want to do that?
Now, here's the thing. Like I said in the beginning, I am a librarian. I am not a sales or pitch person for Twitter. Twitter is like anything that you are going to use in your life. It has a good side, it has a bad side. What I'm here to help you do is to understand the risks involved, because you are an adult human being who can make decisions. But what I want to stress about this, Twitter is a wonderful informational tool that you can use to better your life. It is. You can find stories on Twitter that are going to break before CNN decides they're going to talk about it. If you remember the Ferguson riots in Missouri, they were 12 hours on Twitter before the major news networks decided to even comment that something was happening. The videos of police shooting tear gas at people were taken from Twitter by multi-billion-dollar communications corporations because they were scared to send people into that situation, but normal people were not scared to share their story. And they shared it on here. What's great about Twitter is that you can connect with people. What's not so great about Twitter is that you connect with a lot of people. Not everyone's a peach. But that doesn't mean you should completely opt out of what is a great experience. And so that's what this class is about. You can interact with Twitter with your friends, talk to nobody else, and have a great time. The minute that you wade into dealing with strangers, it's just like dealing with strangers in real life. It can go great, and it can go really bad. So there's a lot of personal responsibility with how you act on Twitter, and that's what I stress. Take personal responsibility for yourself. All I'm going to do is give you the tools, and then after those tools, you do what you want with them. So when you're interacting with someone and you want to tell them, hello, I want to talk with you, and I don't care who sees it, you use the @ symbol. But here's a great feature that a lot of people seem to like after I give the privacy speech. There are private messages on Twitter that nobody reads but you and the other person who is reading them. And they are up here in your direct messages. Direct messages act like email. What they are more similar to, if you are familiar with this, is GChat or Gmail chat. You set up a direct message. Actually, let's say I talk to this guy. I don't know, whatever. I've put in Christopher's name. You saw that as I was typing, there was a drop-down list. So I started with the @ symbol, and I started with the first letter, And if I wanted to send Andrew Kaczynski a message, it's trying to guess what I'm going for. I go with BR, it doesn't know. So Brad Esposito, if that was the person I want to send it to, I can click here. I can add as many people as I want to this message. Anybody I don't want, I click the X right here. And I get rid of them. You type, the message body is here, and your messages get typed down here. Now, I don't know these people. I'm not going to send them a message. We will start a direct message in a minute. You can also use the delete key to delete anyone that's on there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find some people here to follow. So up here on the home screen is this search. What I recommend doing is using the person's Twitter handle to search for them. You can see here, just by putting in MM, and you don't have to put in the @ symbol when you are searching for someone's handle. You can just put in the name. You only put in the @ symbol if you want to send them a message. So here's Mariana. I'm going to click on her. I've clicked on her Twitter profile here. And you can see over here on the right, there's this person icon and the follow button. I'm going to left click on that. And now I'm following her. And then you can see after I did that, it's asking me who else I should follow. Oh, I don't know Tyler. I'm sure he's great. But I will not follow Tyler. Okay, who else? Can I add one more person to this? Who else can I follow?
Carl.
Carl, is that all right?
Sure.
Okay, Carl. So I put in CAR, and Carl came up. Carl came up probably because Mariana is following him, and Twitter guessed that because I know Mariana, I probably know Carl. I also could have put in, since Carl kept his name, putting in Carl's name would be fine. You could try and search Matt Binder. Good luck. There's a lot of them, as I found out. But I found the best way to do it is to search with their Twitter handle, because people can change their name anytime they want. Mariana could change her name to Captain Spaceman, and you would have to search Captain Spaceman to find her name. But if you search by her Twitter handle that you know is going to be semi-permanent, that'd be an easier way to find her.
What if I change my handle?
Oh, you can.
I can, and people still, nothing else
Keeps
changes.
your followers.
It does keep your followers. It just makes future followers harder to find you.
Or easier.
So I'm going to click on Carl, and then I'm going to follow Carl. Before I follow Carl, I also want to talk about your own personal page. We'll break it down just very quickly. This is what Carl has said. These are how many people are following him. I'm sorry, he is following. This is who is people following him. Thank you, I'm off my rhythm now. And these are the tweets that he likes. You can like any tweet you want with this little heart right here. These are tweets that you want to read later. These are tweets that you're showing approval for. These, and all of them, you can see the tweets that Carl liked by clicking on the likes in his profile. He can also see and like them later. If they were a good joke, you can go back and look at it. If Carl is on his own page and he's following someone and he no longer wants to follow them, if Carl is looking at his own page right now, he would see that all the follows are blue. All he has to do is click on the follow again, and it's gone. To demonstrate, so I'm not following Carl now, but I'm going to click on the follow button. And now it's blue, so it says following. Carl is going to get a notification up here, letting him know something new happened. I'm following him. He may get an email notification saying, Bookish856, whatever my numbers are, followed you. Here's a link to their profile. Maybe you want to follow them back. Now, if I look at Carl and I'm like, you know what, that's not the Carl Sodergen I thought it was. Ah, what a mistake. All I have to do is click on this again, and I'm not following Carl anymore. This works for any follower, someone that you're following, same deal. So I'm going to click on Carl, I'm going to follow him. When I go home, anyone I follow now is going to be in my news feed on the home page. News feed being the amalgamation of everyone that I follow all at once. And it's
That's
going...
a little overwhelming for me.
It is. There's a way to make lists that makes Twitter much more readable.
Oh, good.
So you can follow a whole bunch of people, put them into categories, and then read those categories. So here on this home page, this is the timeline that is every person that I'm following is contributing to. Up here is a place where I can write tweets. You see, this is the egg that I was talking about. If you uploaded a picture, it would be your profile picture. And you can see the egg is also up here as well. This is my name. This is my handle. This is how many tweets that I have. This is how many people I am following. It would have another number of followers if I had any. Now, if I want to start a tweet, all I have to do is click on this, and this expands, and we have many more options. This is your countdown. It starts at 140, and it counts down to 0 as you're typing. You can add a picture. You can add a location. You can add what is called a GIF or a GIF. That is a picture that moves for a short period of time. It's like a loop. And then this is a poll. If you want to add your own poll to something. If you're not sure what any of these are, you can take your cursor and just hold it over the icon. So if you want to add a photo or video, these are photos or videos that you have on your device or computer. If you want to add from a website link, you do that in the body of your message. So if I start here with what's happening, I click and I go, I'm at the PRC teaching Twitter. Hashtag PRC. Whoa. So I did this hashtag. Now it's suggesting other hashtags that have the letters PRC. If I just want PRC by itself, or if I want to change it to just People's Resource. Hit space. Now I have this thing, this hashtag. And you can see here, these trends are hashtags. Hashtag Teacher Appreciation Day, hashtag Never Better, hashtag Tony Awards, hashtag Tuesday Thoughts. Hashtags are 3 things all at once. Well, 4 things. The 4th thing is that they're obnoxious. The first thing is that they are marketing tools. So hashtag Glenn Barker, guess who that's for? That's promoting Glenn Barker. Hashtag Teacher Appreciation Day gets into that territory of it's a great feeling, and it gets people feeling really good, and they share their really good feelings together. Hashtag Tony Awards, that is another one where it's a good feeling, but that's a corporately sponsored event meant to promote people who benefit from the Tony Awards. And then we get to Tuesday Thoughts, which is just everybody gets to say whatever they want, and it's a fun thing to do. So hashtags either get people to say whatever was on their mind, get them to participate in a corporately sponsored event, or get them behind a social movement in some way, because they're sharing their experience. That experience could be Chicago, New York, LA, Kansas City, Louisiana, North Dakota, Montana, Colorado, all of them in different cities, participating with each other, sharing their photographs, sharing their stories. Just clicking on this here, Teacher Appreciation Day, would link us to, as we can see here, 19.5 thousand tweets. If I put in the hashtag People's Resource, and I do it by myself, well, who cares? It's one snowflake in a blizzard. But If I do one hashtag in Teacher Appreciation Day, well, suddenly I might have 19,000 other people reading my tweets. Or if you put hashtag People's Resource, you're having an event, you partnered with a local organization, they put it on their Twitter page, and then the city council picked that up and retweeted it on their social media account. That got picked up by the Chicago Tribune. The Chicago Tribune then got shared by the New York Times, who made an op-ed about Chicago and maybe the Illinois budget crisis isn't so bad. Look at this nonprofit. That gets picked up by Reuters and goes international, and suddenly your little tweet is being published in several different little places that you just thought, oh, all we did was have a clothing drive. And all we did was put a little hashtag. That was it. So hashtags are very fickle. Sometimes it's just, you can put this out 1,000,005 times. And then the 1,005,000,000,001 time, it catches fire. I wish I could explain it better than that, but I can't.
Just human nature.
It's just human nature. And they're wonderful for brand recognition. Hashtags are now the core of marketing programs, marketing plans. Because if you have a catchy hashtag, more people feel like they're personally invested in what you're doing. So if I do this hashtag People's Resource by myself, well, it's fine. If 20 more people do it, and 20 more of those people see it, it could blow up. You can also do hashtags as a joke. So I could just do any joke that I want. I could also make my own personal brand for everything. So if I did hashtag library instructor for every time that I taught a class, and people clicked on that on my profile, that would catalog tweets the way I want them to. So if I tweet it, now everyone who's following me, which as we've established is no one, can read what I wrote. And if I click on hashtag People's Resource, let's see if anyone else, by chance, People's Resource. Now, this is from July 2013. They, by chance, put hashtag People's Resource. But you can also see they put more than one hashtag. Basic income, citizens income, revenue base, and Grundeinkommen, which I believe is German. But you look at something like this, Teacher Appreciation Day. So just clicking on the hashtag Teacher Appreciation Day. I'm getting a mix of different things. First thing is PBS NewsHour. This is an account that if you remember, I agreed to follow in the beginning. So they're enormous, and they're first. After that is an educational foundation. And then after that, you can kind of see it is a mix of opinion. And people with different stakes in the argument make their case known to the wider Twitter community. And they're from all over. Here's Las Vegas. Here's Los Angeles. Here's an insurance company. Political, Pokemon, Indiana, all around the world. This person tweeted at Andre Agassi for some reason, a magazine, and a regular person. All of these people have one thing in common. They use this hashtag, and because they use this hashtag and Twitter grouped it all together, I can read what they wrote all together. And so, if you are looking for how people truly feel about these issues, it's not an accurate barometer, but it's a good barometer.
How is that, back when you were talking about messages, creating a message, and then you could do, maybe it was on a tweet, you could do polls?
Yes.
How has that been used?
Okay.
I've never seen that.
Polls
That was
are
very
wonderful.
interesting. Yeah.
So with polls, you can create these things that people can vote on. So I'm going to start with clicking on what's happening up here. And then this add poll, you can add as many choices as you want. All 4, excuse me. It used to be like 7. Now it's 4. Okay. So you can ask your question. I've used it before to ask people what they want for dinner, because that's the easiest thing. Everyone wants to go to a neighborhood. No one knows where they want to eat. So, what do you want for dinner? First choice, barbecue. Second choice, sushi. Third choice, we'll do sandwiches. And for the fourth choice, and I did not put the D.
Everybody that follows you.
Yes. And because my account isn't private, anyone who finds my account. And then for the fourth choice, we will go with diner. We'll just say diner. I don't know what that means. You can then change the length of the poll here. You can make it up to a week. So I can tweet that, and this is what it looks like to me. So this is what the poll looks like to me. It has 6 days left, 0 votes. If you go to my page and click on it, you will be able to vote on my poll. So you can choose, should I eat barbecue or sandwiches? Should we go to a diner, should we have sushi? And if I love this poll, I can put a heart, that lets me know, and that is going to go into my favorites. If I don't want that in my favorites, I can click it again, and it's gone. So what I haven't gone through is what's down here. I've gone a little bit over what retweets are, and again, that is saying to my followers, this is so important, I can't do any better. Here is something that's so great, you should read it, that someone else wrote. This is a reply. So if I wanted to reply to Food and Wine magazine, how many of these amazing ice cream spots can you check off your list? If I click on this little link, it'll open in another source here, and I go, oh, Blue Marble, I've been there. I haven't been there. I will tell Food and Wine magazine, good job, I love Blue Marble. So when I clicked on that reply button, and it's an arrow, it tees me up with @Food and Wine to send them a message. I love, and then maybe Blue Marble has a Twitter account, so I could say, I love @Blue Marble. Okay, probably didn't find him. That's fine. I love Blue Marble. If I wanted to add a picture of me eating ice cream at Blue Marble, I click on that, and I find that picture on my computer or on my phone. And I tweet it like that. So now, if I want to see what I tweeted at Food and Wine, I have to click on their tweet, and there I am. You can also see the other people who liked this, the people who retweeted it, and these 3 dots give you more options. So if I click on the 3 dots, I can share this to someone through a direct message. I can copy a link and send it by an email, or I can put it on Facebook, or I can put it on somewhere else. It would be a link that would show this tweet the way that you are looking at it right now, where it's by itself, and it's just this tweet alone. Embedding tweets is what someone does if they're running a blog. I am not good at this, so I will not show you how to do it. Mute, block, and report. Muting, blocking, and reporting are 3 ways that you can handle someone who is harassing you on Twitter. So you can control who you follow. Unfortunately, the ways you control who follows you are these 3 things. Mute is more the people that you follow. So let's say you have a family member who's very sensitive, but at the same time is very offensive. To be nice, you can they see that you're following them, but you can mute everything that they're saying. So it works like the mute button on your television. It keeps going, you don't hear what's going on. Block and report are 2 important things to know. If someone is harassing you online, you can block them from reading your account, and that also blocks them from interacting with you further on Twitter. you'll have to give a reason. That reason will be this person is harassing me, this person is sending me threatening messages, this person is obnoxious, or I think this person is a spam bot. That is more common. And if someone is harassing you, threatening you, report them to Twitter, their account can be deactivated. If you want to get out of this message, out of this menu, all you have to do is click anywhere outside of it. And if I wanted to retweet this Food and Wine tweet, all I have to do is click here, and I've retweeted it. I can add a comment above it, so the tweet will look like this. I can add a comment, hey, I like the ice cream here, and retweet. If I don't want to, and all I want to do is just share this thing, maybe my friend at Food and Wine wrote this article, and I want to share it with everyone else, I'll just hit retweet.
What happens if you made a mistake? Can you in any way correct your tweet?
Let's find out. Let's go with, this is grape. And I didn't mean to put grape. And I tweet it. And now my tweet is posted. So I'm going to go up here. Oh no, what did I do? Okay, so this is not good. I don't want it to say this is grape. So it looks like my options are that I can delete it and start over again.
You can delete tweets.
Absolutely. You can delete them. Now there are two ways to get from the home page to look at your own profile. That is by clicking on your name or by clicking on this little picture menu. And again, because I have no picture, I've uploaded nothing from my device or from my computer, I have this egg that Twitter just gave to me. It's your placeholder. So until I put up a picture, this is what the world sees next to my name, is an orange background and an egg. So I could click on the egg, and it brings down this menu. So I click on here to view my profile. I click on here to view my lists.
What are lists again?
Lists are wonderful. Let's get to lists.
You said something like, oh, create a list. So like I could put, so New York Times, I follow New York Times and they send out to me like every 5 minutes. Overwhelms my,
Yes.
so I could create a list for them to go in their own
Doing their own thing.
area. It's like a folder.
So if I clicked on my name, here is my timeline, the things that I write myself, only me. This is what I've written, here's who I'm following, and here's who's following me. If I click on who I'm following, I get a list of everyone that I'm following. And from here, I can put everyone here into a category and put them on lists. Lists are really helpful. As we've said, that front page gets really crowded the more people that you follow. With lists, I can put people into different categories. So for anyone who's my friend, I can put just an entire friends list. And by doing that, all I have to do, it looks like a bike chain or a gear right next to the following button. You do add or remove from lists. Even if you have no lists, this is how you start your first one. So if I want to put Mariana on a list, I create my list here, and I'll do PRC as a list name. I can add a description to remind me what PRC means, or if it's work contacts, it's, okay, they work at this place, and this is who that person is. And you can make your list public or private. So if you want people to know where you've categorized them, great. If you don't want them to know where you've categorized them, that is your choice. So I'm going to save that list. And now it's asking me to check the box. And now she is in this PRC list. You'll notice that there isn't a confirm or an OK here. Once that box is checked, she's on the list. It's good. If you want them on a list and you don't see that that box is checked, you can just check the box. And once it's checked, hit the X in the corner. I have right now 5 lists. So you can have someone on more than one list if you want. But I try to keep all of my things separate. News is a list, friends is a list, family is a list. And then I follow a lot of comedians, so I put comedians into one. I'll follow food and chefs, I'll put chefs into one. Chicago is one, just Chicago news and Chicago events is a whole. So if I want to know what to do this weekend and it's Wednesday, I open up my Chicago tab on Twitter and I see what's happening. What's going on at the Lyric Opera? What's going on at Grant Park? What's the Chicago Park District got going on? What's happening at the at these different venues that I like to go to? And so you can create as many lists as you want, and you can also manage your lists by clicking on your profile picture up here and going to lists. You can create lists. You can edit your lists. So this is also how you can read your lists. So you can see here, Marianne is my only person on this list. If I added Carl to this list, it'd be all Marianne and Carl. If I added former people from PRC, just that's all it would be. But these lists that you've made do not affect the way that your main page timeline is organized. It's just a convenient way to switch between all your different followers. So your main page timeline is still going to be a jumbled mess. But the lists make a way so you can break it up.
In other words, so if I'm talking about lists, so I should be able to go into my Twitter account, Twitter, and be able to say on my lists and just look at the list like I want to look at food, whatever, PRC, news, whatever, and click on it so I can just quickly look at it, then move on.
Yeah. And that makes, I think, reading Twitter a lot less intimidating. And you're catching up with what you really want to catch up with, instead of just sitting there and hoping to get and slogging through things you don't really want to read. Also, I'm going to go back to my profile again. So now you see here are my lists. This is another way you can see your lists. So with
it pops up there too.
Yeah. So with Twitter, there's like 3 ways to do the same thing. No way is better than the other. It's just what you're used to doing. And again, with this tweet, so you can see here, I don't like that I've kept this capitalized. It is certainly not grape. So I'm going to click on the 3 dots and I'm going to delete it. And it's going to ask me if I'm sure. And I'm going to say yes. And now that is deleted from my personal profile timeline, and also my followers no longer have it on theirs. Because remember, anyone who is following me can see everything on their timeline that I am posting. So you can see here, when I hit edit profile, I can change my name. I can't change my Twitter handle here, but I can change it in my settings. I can add a short bio. So if I wanted to add librarian, Wheatonite, I can. If I want to add a location, you can. I don't recommend doing this. If I wanted to plug a website, like the library's home website, I could do that. If I had a personal blog, if I had a store, I could do that too. If I don't like this blue color, and I want to change it to this nice green, or if I want to change it to this nice gold, I can. And if I want to put my birthday in there, I can. Don't feel like you have to. So I'm going to put in and then for any website you put in, remember to put http://wheatonlibrary.org or .com or whatever. It has to be the full address, not just the wwws, the full one. This is another way also you can add your profile photo. So if I clicked on this, it would ask you to upload a photo from my computer. If you're on your phone, it will ask you to upload a photo from your phone's gallery. But again, I did not bring a thumbstick with a photo of me on it. Same with a header photo. So your profile photo can be a picture of you, it can be a picture of your dog, it can be a picture of a chair. It doesn't matter. Your header photo is a little different. This is where it gets a little more like Facebook. So this is the part that is about you. So let's say you have, your happy place is a dock at a freshwater lake in Michigan. You have a picture of that dock because it makes you happy. And you want to share that happiness with anyone who visits your page. Or it could be a parade. Or it could be a nice building. It could be a butterfly. It could be a waterfall. It could be your car. Whatever you want to put here in your header is what you want the world to kind of know about you. You don't have to have one. It's just nice to have. And again, for that, it has to be a photo you upload from your device or your computer. And how you get that image is up to you. As a librarian, I cannot advise you to steal images from the internet and use them for your own purposes, because that would be wrong. But you could certainly do that if you wanted to. Any changes that you want to save, click on Save Changes. If you wrote something, and let's say I don't really want to keep any of the changes that I made at all, I can click on Cancel. But if I also wanted to just have my name be M. Bender, I can do that. So, again, this is just looking at my own profile here. This is giving me suggestions on who to follow based on who I'm already following, and also who is following me. And it gives me 3 at a time. But if I want to see everybody that Twitter is trying to get me to follow, I hit View All. And it's just a gallery of faces and names. So if I wanted to follow the Grandma Mary Show, whatever this is, if I want to see a slight preview of who they are, I can hover my mouse over their name. You can see here, this is just like a little preview window. So here's their cover photo, here's their profile picture, here's their name, here's their handle, here's that bio area. So you can see this is clearly an account made to promote a show, the Grandma Mary Show. They've tweeted that many times, they're following that many people, and they have that many followers. And if you remember, the Twitter game is to have more followers than you're following, they're winning definitely. And you see this little icon here, the blue person with, I know you can't see it, but it is a plus sign. If I wanted to follow that, all you do is click on that, and I'm following them without even having to look at their profile.
Now, how do you know, like, if they're really who they say they are?
That's a great question.
Like, so I got President Obama,
Yeah.
Barack Obama.
Yes. Oh, this is where it gets fun.
Because I can change my name to be Barack Obama.
You can. So I'm just going to search for Barack Obama. And I put it in there. So here we go. The first 2 that come up. Barack Obama with a CK, Barack Obama with a K. This Barack Obama has a blue check mark next to his name. This Barack Obama does not. This Barack Obama has a biography, and this Obama does not. And the blue check mark lets you know that this is the real Barack Obama. It has been verified. Twitter takes pains to verify famous people's Twitter. And why? Because anyone with an email address or a phone can make an account. Anyone with an email address or phone can change their name after they register that account. Anyone with an email or phone can tweet whatever they want. So if someone who hates Barack Obama makes an account under the name Mike Patterson, deletes the name Mike Patterson, deletes M. Patterson 71, and puts BARAK underscore Obama and calls it BARAK underscore Obama, oh well. Because you can follow the fake Barack Obama if you want, or this plus sign from Twitter the corporation lets you know this is the actual Barack Obama, the president.
And they put a real picture of him on that?
Yes.
It looks like him.
And by all accounts, that picture is probably stolen. So you see, I spelled it wrong. B-A-R-A-K. It gave me the right option, but it still gave me the wrong one. Twitter's under no obligation to give you the right answer. It gives you the answer that you want. So I typed in the wrong thing, and I got the wrong account. But here's the right one right there. This is what they think I mean. Do I mean the real Barack Obama? Do I mean, here's one. So here's William Shatner's account. I spelled it wrong, but it's guessing that I mean the actual William Shatner, the actor. Now, woe to anyone who spells Shatner this way, because he's always going to come up no matter what. But here's the check mark. There's Carl Urban. He's got the blue check mark. That means they sent an email to Twitter saying, I'm the actual Carl Urban. Twitter's like, yeah, right. So they sent back an email asking them to verify with forms of ID. Then there was a phone, and then there was another picture of them holding their forms of ID sent back to Twitter to verify that, yes, this is the actual William Shatner, this is the actual Carl Urban, and they're the ones, or representative, verified by them, operating their accounts. Because, again, anyone can do a parody account, and parody accounts are protected speech.
Parody, did you say?
Yes. Parody accounts. Parody accounts are made by people who use a celebrity's likeness or persona to make jokes. Most of those jokes are not funny, but they think they are. So if we go back and look at that Barack Obama account, so this was made in March of 2008, and nothing has been said yet. But they took the time, in the meantime, to get 151,000 followers without having done anything, because they have one letter off of the actual president's name.
So how, people just, because they spelled it wrong, people follow them?
Yes. Maybe they didn't know how Barack Obama was actually spelled. Considering it was 2008, that's when he was just elected. Maybe they saw Barack spelled that way on the news, or in a newspaper article, or they think that's how it's spelled phonetically. I don't know. You can see here, plenty of people are spelling it wrong in their tweets. So why not that Barack Obama get 151,000 followers based on the mistaken identity of other people? But yeah, these parody accounts do exist, and the way that you can tell the fake ones from the real ones are the blue check marks. But that is only for the upper echelon of the Twitter user. That is only for the heads of state and the presidents and the CEOs and the celebrities, unfortunately. You or I cannot go to Twitter and say, I would like a blue check mark next to me, the real Matt Binder, the only Matt Binder. Because they would say, well, no, you're not. There are hundreds of Matt Binders. Just to wrap this up in general. And I hope that I haven't been too, I know I've jumped around a lot with this. To get back to just what it is. If you want to interact with your friends, at username, message. If you want to reply to your friends, you hit this arrow, and you can do that. And if you want to see all of your privacy settings, you click on your profile picture up here, and you go to your settings. You can see who you've blocked. You can see who you've muted. You can change your password. And in security and privacy is where you can protect your tweets. Once you hit this square, what that means is your tweets cannot be read by anyone who is not following you. You are the one who says who follows you. If they send a request to you, you get an email saying this person wants to follow you, then you say yes. If you say no, they will not get another chance to make a request, and they don't get an email saying whether or not you said yes or no. If you said no, they get nothing. If you said yes, then they get an email that says yes. And choosing to protect your tweet, of course, is your choice. One thing I strongly recommend against is this. If this box is checked, I recommend unchecking it. Adding a location to your tweets could be a dangerous thing if it's a private account. If it is a corporate account or if it's an account that you want to promote something, definitely add your location because it gives it to the street corner. It will show where you are to the address. So if you keep tweeting at your house, people are going to know when you're not home. And that there were actually burglars who followed people on Twitter who had the location on and broke into their houses. So if you have had your location on, you can uncheck the box. You can press this to delete all your past location information on your tweets. So that's a really great feature that you can do. And then here too, direct messages, receive direct messages from anyone. If you only want to receive them from people who you've chosen that follow you, you can uncheck the box. And then if you want to change your username at any time, go up to your account and you can change it. So if I don't like bookish864 anymore, here's where I can change it. And again, you can change your name by going to your profile and editing your profile there. So you change your handle in your account settings, you change your name on your profile settings. And so from there, that is the basics of Twitter. After you get past all that stuff, it's just reading and talking to people. Thank you everyone for being so patient. I know it was a long class, so I really appreciate it.